Okay, I guess we didn't have a countdown. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is July 19th, 2021. We are on point discussion on the Lounge Room Network. We are powered by Caltech and Fanatics. I'm going to be your host today at Wyatt Cornelius. You can follow me on Twitter at the Cornelius7. Juan will be joining us later. He is having a good time. And you can follow Juan at Lounge Room Prez 1. And of course, Julius, the one, the only, you can follow him at the Fifth Top on Twitter. Julius, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good, Wyatt. Happy to be here. Happy to talk. Sad that Juan isn't here because last week I got roasted on this show by like 6 Bears fans at one time. I just want to extract revenge, but I know that revenge won't come until the Lions destroy the Bears in the regular season. So I'll just wait on that.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's going to happen, but Juan's been wanting you guys to go to the Bears-Lions game at Thanksgiving, and I said, well, Julius's wife's from Germany. I don't think they celebrate Thanksgiving, so maybe he can go and
I'm planning on it, man. I'm planning on it.
So that'll be interesting. I definitely think it's not going to be as easy for the Bears to beat the Lions. The last 4 years, it's been pretty. Last year was pretty competitive for both games, but we'll definitely see.
It's funny you say that, Wyatt, because we don't even have Matthew Stafford, the god at quarterback anymore. We got Jared Goff, the bum, according to the rest of the NFL. So,
but I was looking at, because I was doing some some drafting, some fantasy stuff, and I was like, I forgot the Lions signed Tyrell Williams. I was like, oh, he's pretty good if he stays healthy. And you signed somebody else. And I was like, okay, well, they got some pretty decent receivers, and they got in line, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I wasn't supposed to be on Talks on Point today. I was supposed to be in Colorado Springs with my family, but Saturday I was playing in a volleyball tournament, and we were playing, and typically, if you've played volleyball long enough, you don't go under the net or you don't put your feet under the net. And so I went up to block this guy, and he was swinging, and he landed under the net. And so when I was coming down, I stepped on his foot and turned my ankle pretty bad. It was like deja vu, because when I played high school basketball, I did the same thing, and I felt the same pain. And it was like deja vu. And so I ended up finishing that game, but then my ankle swelled up, and so my wife's like, we should just cancel Colorado Springs, because I can't handle our 8-month-old, we're trying to hike and you're on crutches. So we ended up canceling the trip.
Got to you, bro. The old age got to you. It happens to the best of us, bro. But Colorado Springs is beautiful this time of year. It sucks you're missing out on it.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to try for fall break here, but we are going to go to Tucson, to a resort here next week, because I'm feeling pretty good actually today. I'm walking like 90% on it. So I was like, we probably could have made it to Colorado Springs, but anyway, yeah. So just me and Julius, and then Juan will join us later. So first topic we're going to go over today, guys, is the Chinese government is recruiting criminal hackers to attack Western targets, the U.S. and allies say. So this is something that I think has just been going on for a while. I mean, you saw it with Russia and the election in 2016. And I feel like the US and a lot of like these Western countries, or even these free countries, these democratic countries, are not doing enough to protect themselves from these communist, socialist type of countries that are, people think that the war now on these type of countries is fought, face to face, in the air. It's whoever has the best military. But a lot of this cyber attack is where it's at, and you can pretty much, there's a lot of things that are online now, especially electricity and gas and all that. And if you got the hackers to put down your system or whatever, then you're shit out of luck, or put out that false information. You see it a lot. So, I mean, this is something that I don't feel like the U.S. is doing enough to try to protect themselves from these hackers, because there's no way, like if you look at it, like Russia and China will go at any means to protect their country, obviously, and to have more power and more intel on these Western civilizations, especially the U.S. What do you think about it, Julius?
I mean, this is just an area that I think that the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, has the upper hand on America in their path, in their quest to be the world's superpower like America is. They want to is their technology advancements, uh, including hacking, and is getting bad. I think like I want to say like 80% or something. I read. I'm not sure on that number, but pretty high percentage of our all foreign um, cyber attacks come from China or Taiwan or North Korea or anywhere in that part of the Eastern world. So I definitely think it's something we should, worry about. Biden should worry about it. People should talk about it more because it could. Who knows? I mean, if China gets good enough at this, it could really cause some bad damage. And cyber warfare, they're starting to pick it up in the military a lot, but there's going to be civilian defense jobs readily available in the next 10 years. Look out for that. Cyber. It's like the number one tech um, area of tech in the world right now is cyber defense. And it's important, as we see, because China not playing, man. They got all the experts on this. They've been doing it for decades, and they're perfecting it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's already well known that the Chinese government spies on their own people. So, I mean, what's preventing them from spying? I mean, it's all about gaining the edge. And there was this interesting topic is because I mean, it's obvious that in some capacity, the American people are getting spied on by U.S. intelligence, by the NSA. And I brought this attention to my students before, and we've had a discussion about that. But I feel like most people, like especially the younger generation, they like don't care, as long as I have my information at my fingertips. But I talk to them about like having a Google Home Mini or one of those Alexas in your home, and they're always listening, even though they say they don't. I say like, I don't want that in my home. I don't want my conversation, even though I'm not like planning anything or saying anything that's going to get me in trouble. I still don't want, in the privacy of your own home, that's where, you have private conversations. And I don't want, to leave myself open to them, just the possibility of listening to me. Because, I mean, when you have private conversations with you and your wife or your kids, you don't want, potentially somebody listening. So it's getting more prevalent with the more technology is becoming more advanced. I mean, I would be, I guess I don't know how the Chinese people would feel about, or how they feel like if you did a poll, like where they wouldn't get, if you did a poll and like an anonymous poll, so obviously they don't face any backlash from the Chinese government, but I wonder how many people are comfortable with them, being spied on and not being able to be comfortable in their own home. So it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, the fear level is on a different scale. People in China fear their government more than people here fear theirs. So um, they don't. At least the Chinese government has control of everything in China: the media, the information, television, everything. So I mean, I couldn't even imagine being a citizen of a country like that right now. And I mean, if there's any voices that speak out, I'm sure they're silenced pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, and that's I mean, it's always brought up about there's a America, their gun rights are far better than anybody's gun rights in the world, and that's why one thing we don't fear is because we have the means to protect ourselves against the government has should anything happen. So I always looking at that the Chinese people don't have that, especially with I don't know how many millions of soldiers the communist government has or whatever, but definitely not a country to be free in.
Most definitely, as we saw in the most recent Hong Kong and Taiwan situations going on over there. It's just not a great country to be free in, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
America,
definitely.
if we ain't careful, America is going to be on that road too as well. I'm just going to throw that in there just for a little salt. But you know, that's you start talking about governments and like capitalism. You could talk trash about it all you want, but the free enterprise and the government not having their hands in everything, every part of our lives, is a blessing that you should be grateful for. Everybody should be grateful for, but they're not.
No, and that goes into like what's going on in Cuba and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and I think there was somebody I don't know, some Cuban gentleman that posted something like, how can, you know, people in America defend the Cuban government? You know, I mean, you don't see people trying to leave on boats to America to another country. You always see other people that aren't free, like in Cuba, trying to get to the U.S. to live in a free country. So it's definitely, I mean, you could say that the U.S. is going in the wrong direction, but you know, I always value my freedom, and when we were in that year in pandemic, and especially here living in a democratic state, you know, after a while it wears on you that you have to wear a mask. I know you're trying to protect people, you have to wear a mask, you're limited on where you can go or what you can do, and it just felt like after a while like you were kind of like imprisoned, you know. And then now that everything's fully open, it's nice. I mean, I don't know, it feels different. So
Yeah, most def. I mean, I've been in Texas most of the time. It's been pretty free down here.
yeah, I wish I could live in Texas, but I don't know if there's a city for me that I would be wanted to live in where there's not a lot of traffic. I mean, traffic here, you can get to and from the end of Las Cruces in 10 minutes or less. So
That's nice.
it's really, yeah, pretty easy. So
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe a small town or something.
yeah.
So the next topic, this one was kind of hit home for me last week. Virgin Galactic, they have a space center here. It's in Tier C. It's about an hour and a half from me. Virgin Galactic, for the longest time, I think it was in 2009, they started building this space center here because they wanted to take people, you know, outside the Earth's atmosphere so they could see the Earth. And for the longest time, like, I mean, even I would follow it. There was a lot of students whose parents came to work on that, and they were from different states. A lot of engineers and all that stuff. And we thought it was going to happen sooner than it did because, you know, it started in 2009. And then like it seemed like after they had this like they had some test runs, and they had a crash, a fatal crash, and so that set them back about 5-7 years or something. And so last week, um, Richard Branson, the CEO of Virgin Galactic, went into outer space here in Tier C. And so there was a lot of people in Las Cruces, like hotels were packed. I heard Elon Musk was there in Tier C. So I assume that he flew a private jet from California there because he's not going to go to, we don't have a commercial airport here in Las Cruces. It's El Paso is 30-40 minutes away. And so I would assume he's going to fly his private jet. Why are you going to fly to El Paso and then drive to Tier C? Because they have a big.
He might have already been in Texas because I think he has a residence here now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Austin.
Yep.
So maybe he flew from Austin to there. But what's cool about the one from Virgin Galactic is what they do is they took you up in like a two plane kind of thing, and then when you get to a certain altitude, I think it was 40,000, like the rocket detaches from it and then goes up into space. So I was able to watch that, you know, because they were live streaming it, and it was pretty crazy. Just because it's close to home, and then Jeff Bezos is doing his tomorrow, and it's called Blue Origins. But his is kind of like a rocket, like they would do for NASA. Like it shoots them out, but it doesn't have any pilot or anything, and so it shoots them into space, and then they come back down, and then there's like 3 parachutes, and they're supposed to land. I think that one's more scarier than the Virgin Galactics, where you go up in a plane and then you shoot off. I don't know. I just think it's more scary because it's like a NASA rocket. So Jeff Bezos is going tomorrow. Hopefully they have a successful one. And then Elon Musk has his. I don't know what it's called. But it's crazy because, like, of course, people sounded off here in Las Cruces like, oh, Jeff Bezos has enough money to end hunger and end the homeless crisis. And so does Richard Branson and Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. Why are you sending people to space? It's kind of like the next frontier. Like, it was only NASA, a select few that could go in space. And now you can enter a drawing to get selected to go in space. So you know, if you're not a rich person, you maybe, you know, you're just a common Joe like me and you. Well, you're not a common Joe, just like me. You can go to space. So I think this is going to be pretty crazy because you have 3 different billionaires, you know, sending people to space. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm pretty interested by the whole idea, to be honest, but I don't feel like it's something I'll ever get to touch in my lifetime unless I somehow like put like a 100K bet on the Lions winning the Super Bowl and they actually win it, and I'm like a multi-millionaire overnight thanks to the Lions. That's the only way I can get rich enough to get a ticket on one of these things. But at the same time, just like you, man, I would be terrified to leave planet Earth's atmosphere, a place I've never left in my whole 31 years of life, at least not legally. and you know, it just sounds scary. I mean, I can't imagine seeing the Earth from the sky being floatless. I think they get to a certain altitude where they float, you know, in the spacecraft they're in, and just seeing Earth, I would just be so scared I won't make it back down. But it take my breath away. The view is the best view that's possible, you know. And it was a matter of time. This was all a matter of time happening. Commercial space travel, because humans, like you said, it's the next frontier. Humans haven't been up there on their own, without governments and without agencies, and only astronauts can. You know, for so long you had to be an astronaut. You know, the dreams of being an astronaut as kids, most don't make it. So now you could buy yourself a ticket up there, and I think that's pretty exciting. But I just don't know if I have the gonads to go to space. And then the whole parachute idea. Then where they going? Do they have a landing? Do they have the landing down pat with this, or are you parachuting into the ocean and praying to God that the Philippine Coast Guard save you from imminent death?
I think they're supposed to land somewhere in the desert and get picked up. That's what I read with Jeff Bezos thing. I really think that one's the most scariest because you start off with a rocket and you go like straight up. But with the Virgin Galactic, it's like a plane, right? You're going up and then you just take off like a rocket and then you're going like past Mach 1 or something like that. So I think that one would be, if I had to choose, I would choose the Virgin Galactic one. But I get motion sickness, man. Like I have to take a Dramamine when I get on a plane. I mean, it's like I got it from my mom. My mom has that motion.
Are you like that on boats? Are you get boats?
Oh, dude, let me tell you. Yeah. So me and my wife worked in Alaska over the summer, a couple of years, and so I got like one of my side jobs was cleaning a fishing boat. Hardest job I've ever done, cleaning a fishing boat. Like, and so they ended up taking us on a free fishing charter, and I knew I got motion sickness, so I got a patch, you know, those little patches. I didn't put it on in time or something. I was just like sick the whole time, 12 hours. My wife already caught her limit on fish, and she's like, we just shared a reel, and she's like, you got to get up. I count my limit. I got to pull here. And so I'm like sick as a dog trying to reel in a halibut that's at the bottom of the ocean. And I was just like, whenever you're done throwing up and you're just like dry heaving, that was me, dude. But
Luckily,
it was a good.
I don't get motion sickness. Luckily, I don't.
I don't wish most motion sickness on my worst enemy. But I kind of would, if I had a free ticket, I might be ballsy enough to do the Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, I would definitely. With a free ticket, I mean, come on, man. How can you pass that down? I mean, the only thing would be like, I would have to see a few successful trips first before. I don't want to be one of the first couple guinea pig trips and you know, something go wrong. But Hey, real quick though, shout out Adam Rayner, shout out Adam Kunos in the comments. I see you boys. Shout out Wade Cornelius. I'm guessing that's your brother who is complaining that we're not talking about history enough. He says, "Can we talk about history now?" Listen, Wade, we are talking about history right now because 50 years from now, we're going to look back at these episodes and be like, look, we was talking about commercial space travel. Now everybody's doing it. Now you can catch a flight damn near to the moon straight out of LAX for $300, just like any other place. This is history. It's history in the making, my friend.
Well, that's my brother and me have an inside joke about talking about history. We used to watch a show, and this like old man who was kind of senile just out of the blue said it was actually a live show. It was a poker live show, and he said, "Can we talk about history?" And so me and my brother, it's just a long joke, and he every time we're on here, he comes on
I think
to
he
Facebook
comments that every time. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. I get it now. I get it.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't. This is just those inside jokes that we have with each other. But anything else on the space thing? I mean, I'm gonna probably tune in tomorrow because it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Like sending regular people.
I'm gonna
Because I know,
tune in.
like, yeah, and I know like astronauts train to go into space, but they're in space longer. I guess Jeff Bezos and whoever else he's taking, that's no pilot. They're going to be 3 minutes in space, then the gravity's gonna take over, which is scary because I hear it's gonna be like really fast right away, and then the parachutes will come up, and then it's gonna be like a big, like on an elevator when
No,
it
it's
stops
gonna be
really
like
quick.
a roller coaster ride down. Man, I would probably piss myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
I will wet all over myself once that decline start quick. Man, until like that's the drop. The drop is what we're worried about. We're not worried about the ascent. We're worried about the descent. We want to get back to the planet safely. That is the question. That is the question in my head when I'm all the way up there. I don't even know if I'll be able to enjoy it fully because of that fear.
Well, if me and you were on the same flight, you'd probably be having my throw up all over you because I probably would have been throwing up no matter how much medicine I took.
That'd be pretty disgusting on the way down. But once we're in the stratosphere or whatever, the puke could just float in the air, right? Like good.
Yeah.
Like we'll see what Wyatt is eating in slow motion.
Yeah. But it's definitely interesting. I wonder how it's gonna. I don't even know where Jeff Bezos' place is, like where he does the launches. Obviously, I know the Virgin Galactic one, which is in like pretty much almost the middle of nowhere where they did it. But it should be interesting. Definitely interesting sending regular people to space. I mean, pretty soon our kids that are not even a year, though your newborn and my kid, they'll probably be going to Mars here in about 30 years when we're old and decrepit. So,
man, it's good for them. People are human beings. As soon as they're going to try to leave this planet. Trust me, they're going to try to leave as soon. I don't know if it's going to happen in our lifetime or even our kids' lifetime. Maybe towards the end of our kids' lifetime. But people are going to leave this place and they're going to move to wherever they feel might be better.
Yeah, I'll stay here and die with the planet. But
once we learn how to travel at the speed of light in a short amount of time, and we can go find that other Earth that's like 3 galaxies away, that's when it's gonna get real. That's when it's gonna get real for humanity. Y'all think y'all tough, huh? Y'all think y'all Rocky? Y'all think y'all LeBron? Y'all think humans are so great? Germany, China, America, woo. Wait till you go to that 5 times the size of Earth that's 3 galaxies away, and they just got, I just can't imagine like some human, you don't even know if there's humans there. It's really the frontier is just endless when it comes to space. It really is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Space is scary, and
it makes you feel small.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty crazy if you kind of think about it. You think about space, and it's infinity. It's
Mhm.
infinite, and it keeps growing, and we're just a small part in this huge ass galaxy.
You know,
So
you say that, Wyatt. You say those exact words, how we're just so small in this huge universe with all these galaxies. Let me just tell listeners out there one thing. My psychologist, my therapist, he really helped me out one day a couple years back when he brought up that analogy to me and told me anytime that I think I was having problems with some kind of anxiety, but he was like, anytime you get, really in a tense spot or you feel very bad about yourself in general, just think about how small you are in the universe, not Earth, not a speck of dust on Earth, not in the Milky Way, in the universe. Literally, like you all, it just shrinks you down so much when you realize, your place in it all. It makes you feel, like it takes the load off of your mind. Like, it's not that serious. I'm not that serious in this big universe. It might help some people out there.
yeah, it definitely puts things in perspective. Um, you think about that way.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely. Okay, so we're going to get into sports. We're going to be talking about spring training and the NBA Finals. We'll talk about the NBA Finals first. We're supposed to
Talking
have
about
Juan on.
training camp, or spring training.
Yeah, I'm sorry, training camp. See, I don't know why I said spring training. I'm talking about baseball. So NBA Finals. Game 6 is tomorrow night. You got me a little confused earlier when you were like, Juan, are you out there at the?
Yeah, I thought it was tonight because I'm so used to like every other night you like the other series you play a game, you skip a night, you play another game. The finals they skip 2 nights. They kind of draw it out a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry about the confusion. I thought it was tonight.
No, I mean, I'm hoping they force a game 7. I know Juan roots for the Bucks. He's because he lives in Milwaukee, and there's a bunch of people on the network that are Bucks fans. I'm rooting for the Suns, obviously, because they're close by. I'm not a Suns fan. I don't even have an NBA team, but
Is there
the
Suns
Bucks are.
fans in that area of New Mexico you're in?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Suns fans. I have some friends that moved to Phoenix, and they're all Suns fans now. I guess when you're actually in a city that actually has a pro sports team, you become, some type of fan. I've never lived in a city where there's been a. I don't even live in a state where there's a pro sports team. So that's how poverty this state
New
is.
Mexico does not have a pro sports team. Wow.
No, it just has minor league teams.
And neighboring El Paso, if I'm not mistaken, don't have a pro sports team either.
No,
So
they have.
Phoenix would be like the closest. But
Yeah.
yeah, I live in Killeen, Texas, which doesn't have a pro sports team either. Our closest, and Austin is close to us. They don't have a pro sports team either. So I haven't had the pressure to, I gotta reach up 3 hours away and become a Dallas Mavericks fan or something. No, I don't feel that where I'm at.
Well, you live in Detroit, where you got 3 major. Was it 3 major or 4 major?
One in every major sport except for the MLS.
Oh, okay.
Which would be the only way I would watch MLS if Detroit did get an MLS team. That would be the only way I would start watching and become a fan of that team.
Yeah. So what do you think about the finals? Do you think the Bucks take it at home tomorrow, or do you think the Suns will bring it back to Phoenix for game 7?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Phoenix wins in Milwaukee, hurts all those Bucks fans' little hearts in the Deer District, which, let me stop again mid-sentence and say about the Deer District, I am very impressed by the images I'm seeing on my television screen. They're lit in Milwaukee, and honestly, I'm kind of happy for them because at the end of the day, I kind of want the Bucks to win the series. I kind of do because there's this Rust Belt connection. I've been to Milwaukee a few times. The Midwest is kind of that connection. They haven't had a title in like 60 years or something. It's just them and the Brewers. I'm not even going to talk about that team in Green Bay. But Green Bay, all the Packer fans in Milwaukee are the reason that I don't want them to win. So I'm kind of 50-50 split. But Phoenix, I really don't care who wins. If Milwaukee wins, I'll be happy for Milwaukee. If Phoenix wins, I'll be happy for Phoenix. I just want Phoenix to win so this great series we're watching we can get a couple more games. I like to watch great basketball games, especially in 2 small markets who don't have super teams and, homegrown talent. Giannis is amazing. Devin Booker is amazing. Chris Paul, this might be his last shot. It's a great to watch, but I'm going for Phoenix tomorrow night just to draw out the series. And I would be happy for whichever team comes out of this. But I know Milwaukee fans, I know they really, really want Game 6 victory in Milwaukee. What city? I remember Red Wings, Pistons. I remember wanting them to win their respective championships. Hi Juan.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
That ugly stadium behind him. But anyways, I remember being a Detroit fan. I remember wanting my team to win the title at home. So I understand Milwaukeeans wanting Game 6 at home, Deer District. They want to go nuts and go crazy and right there at home. They don't want it to go back to Phoenix. But I hope it goes back to Phoenix because I want to watch more great basketball.
Welcome to the show, Juan. Our president has graced us. He's live from the Deer District. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Currently out here watching just kind of experiencing the atmosphere of what is to be, hopefully, a future championship city here in Milwaukee. And I am out here at the Deer District right now. As you guys can see, there's Fiserv Forum behind me, and yeah, everything's ready to go for tomorrow. I mean, you guys can probably tell everything is up and going, and 60-some thousand people will be packing into Fiserv Forum, the Deer District, tomorrow, and it is absolutely amazing how many people are going to be here, and hopefully Milwaukee can pull it off. We'll have to see, but yeah, I know it's awesome out here.
It would be massive tears. I'm telling you, Milwaukee fans want Game 6. They don't want it to go back to Phoenix for Game 7. And those 60,000 souls in Milwaukee want to get lit tomorrow and celebrate a championship. They might go home crying, though. They might have to wait on Game 7.
Well, I know for a fact you're not rooting for Milwaukee, Julius. I know but
no, I was just me and White were just talking about it. I said I would be happy for Milwaukee if they won because I talked about this, the Rust Belt connection. They haven't won a title in like 60 some odd years. I'll be happy for them. I just want to be happy for the Packer fans who are also Bucks fans who get to be happy. I don't want them Packer fans to be happy, but I would be happy for Phoenix if they won as well. So honestly, I don't care. I just want to watch good basketball.
Well, good basketball is certainly what we're getting with these finals, with the final series that we're seeing right now. I mean, the raw emotion and the competitiveness of both of these teams is just something that we don't really see, especially with teams who either haven't won a championship in a really long time or haven't won any at all. And with the Milwaukee Bucks not winning one since about 1971, I believe it is. I mean, it's people here in the city and in this team, they're hungry for a title. And a lot of people think that if they're going to get it, it's going to be tomorrow night here in Milwaukee. So who knows? I don't know if the Suns are going to go down that easily by losing all these games in a row. But Milwaukee fans certainly think that's going to be the case. And now we're just waiting to see what happens in 24 hours. I mean, it's going to be an intense game, and it's, we're looking forward to it here in the Brew City.
This is pretty cool, Wyatt. Did you report from a championship series one time? No, you didn't. You did not go live from a championship. I think it was a bar in New Mexico. Actually, my bad.
Oh yeah, it was.
I think this is the first time that On Point Discussion has had like an on-site reporter out here.
It's a moment. Yeah, this is something we'll remember. Yeah.
You know what's funny is
go ahead, Wyatt.
You know what's funny is the vice president of our network, Brandon, he mentioned on our Twitter chat that he would be good with just Milwaukee winning the NBA Finals. He didn't care if I'm not quoting him exactly, but he didn't care if the Packers won a Super Bowl or the Brewers won the World Series. I don't believe that one bit though. I think he would want the win.
What I can say is I sure as hell hope that the Packers don't ever win another one again.
In my life,
I mean, I could live with the Brewers, getting getting a championship for the first time. But if the Packers never win again, I'm totally okay with that. But that's just me. Before I get off here real quick, though, I do just want to give a shout out to my guy, Dan. He is a fellow Bears fan here.
What up, Dan?
Who was here from
Bear
Idaho.
down.
His first time ever out here on the Deer District. So we're out here on the scooters. Just riding through Milwaukee right now on these scooters, and
y'all on y'all little Chicago Bears scooters. Y'all little Soldier Field
He's a Lion.
scooters. Oh,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Does Dan want to
here's
say anything?
Here's a no PD exclusive. I'm still in my work attire.
Wow.
Nice. Looking spiffy.
I am out here like full, dress shoes and everything from being at work. Yes, I'm very warm. I wish I was wearing shorts, but that is not the case. And
living your best life, Juan.
yes, it is like 85 degrees. I'm about three beers deep and like 2 cocktails deep. But you know what? Life is beautiful. I'm beautiful. You guys are beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. So with that being said, live from the Deer District at Lounge Room Frez 1, signing off here. You guys have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the show, and we will talk very soon, guys.
Take care, Juan.
Later,
All
Juan.
right. See you guys later.
Bear down.
And bear down.
Go Lions.
So that was our own Juan, the president, reporting from the Deer District. He looked a little tipsy. I don't know.
He seemed pretty joyful. Definitely.
A lot of people give him a lot of crap on Twitter because he's a Bulls fan, he's a Bears fan, he's a White Sox fan, but a lot of people give him crap because they just said they just call him a Packer fan, they call him a Milwaukee Bucks fan, but he does live in Milwaukee, so he does root for the Brewers at times and the Bucks. But he takes a lot of shit. But I can imagine if you live in a city. I mean, if you lived in Green Bay and you kind of root for the Packers, then we would just disown him. But yeah, I can see why he roots for the Bucks and the Brewers.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with showing the city that you have adopted as your home, showing their teams love. I don't think he'll ever root for the Packers in Milwaukee. I just think it's the local Milwaukee. The Bucks and the Brewers are Milwaukee's teams, even more so than the Packers. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Juan.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So last topic of the night for sports is training camp. I'm getting excited with training camp because closer to football means fantasy football. You play it, I play it. I'm excited. I know he doesn't play it. We've been trying to get him to play it. He won't play it. I think it's just he's set in stone. But I'm excited even for preseason because I get to see how Justin Fields is going to play because I assume he's going to play a lot. Hopefully get some information out of Bears camp to see how things are going. Hopefully no major injuries from major players across the league. That's what I'm hoping for. And then we got to find out if Aaron Rodgers returns. So what are you looking forward to mostly for the training camp?
Well, personally, for my team, the Detroit Lions, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly where this is a roster that's completely overturned. New GM, new head coach, new coaching staff, new everything came in, pretty much destroyed Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn's roster. Only kept a few of the young good guys and signed some pretty good free agents. We were talking about, Tyrell Williams, Rashad Perryman as receivers. Our offensive line, they drafted Penei Sewell to add to an already strong offensive line. They're just trying to revamp our defense totally. So it's a lot of rookies, a lot of new faces, and I'm just interested to see how it starts to look, on the field. We're only 25 days away from the first preseason games, I believe, which is nuts to think about. A little bit over 3 weeks, we'll be watching live NFL football on television, and it starts with training camp. It's almost here. I'm happy because this point of time in the summer is the dog days of sports. Because the NBA finals usually aren't going on right now. Usually it's just the middle of the baseball season. Ain't nothing going on. You're just thinking and waiting for football. So I'm ready for football. I'm ready for training camp. I'm ready specifically to see what the Detroit Lions have done in one off season in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes' first off season. I'm ready to see what the team looks like. And I also like to take a peek into the other NFC North training camps to see what their teams look like, a la the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings, just to see what y'all looking like. Injuries happen in training camp usually. Unfortunately, you hope it's not none of your key players. That's another thing to look out for. And I just love it. I can't wait till the Lions finally get Hard Knocks so I can watch it all on TV, and I just got to see a bunch of Twitter clips from reporters, and read a bunch of articles. I read during training camp preseason, I read like 1,000 articles on the Lions, just trying to keep up with what's going on. The good thing about Hard Knocks is you don't need to read no articles. You can just watch what's going on right there on TV. But the Lions didn't get it this year. They gave it to the Cowboys again, blah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to training camp this year, definitely.
Yeah, I was thinking like the Cowboys got it, and Jerry Jones is gonna be all over that crap. Like he'll be on there a lot, which he shouldn't be. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Dallas? Have you ever been to the stadium in Arlington? Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a football it's a very unique football experience that I think if you're a huge football fan, you should think about partaking in. Is visiting the stadium in Arlington, the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe your favorite team is playing against them, and see how they take football in Texas because it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they played the Bears a couple years back, but I didn't go because the tickets were too expensive. But I typically like going to different stadiums to watch the Bears play. Like when they played in Phoenix a couple years back, went there. But it's definitely a good experience. But there's definitely some interesting things going on with training camp. Like Deshaun Watson, what I've heard is they're not going to suspend him. They're still kind of wait and see. And he's not going to show up to training camp because he wants to be traded. So it's interesting to see, is he going to get traded or is he going to sit out? I can't fathom a season without Deshaun Watson playing in the NFL. So that's going to be definitely something interesting to see. I mean, I'm hoping he plays. I mean, he probably doesn't want to. He's not going to play for the Texans, but I mean, the Dolphins could trade for him. Denver could trade for him, but they're all waiting and seeing if he's going to be, if these allegations or anything, those lawsuits that are on him, if something's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson is an elite quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it's just crazy the situation that he's found himself in, whether or not it was, his fault or he was, the victim of victimhood. I don't know, but I'm not going to get into that. But it's really sad when one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL is not ready to play. But that's another thing that interests everybody with training camp. There's going to be trades. There's going to be some trades in training camp. There's going to be some free agency pickups. Your team, the Bears, the Lions, whoever, they're going to look different from late July to late August. In that month span, there's going to be a lot of transactions. So I wouldn't be surprised if Deshaun Watson found himself headlining one of those transactions.
Imagine if he got traded to the Lions and then you got Fields, you got Watson, Kirk Cousins is trash, and you got Rodgers all in the same division. That'd be crazy.
You know what I think to myself? I'd be like, wow, Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, 2 elite quarterbacks in one division. I wouldn't even think nothing about Fields or Cousins. Fields, I probably think something about Cousins before Fields because why? Because I haven't saw Justin Fields throw the ball in the NFL. I don't know what he gonna do. Like I said, don't be surprised, Bears fans, y'all listening. I know y'all out there. Don't be surprised if Justin Fields throws a pick six to Jeff Okudah in his first NFL throw. When the Lions come to Chicago, when the Lions come to Chicago in week 4, I believe, and y'all done with Andy Dalton's crap, and y'all want to throw y'all young boy in. Oh God, Okudah picks off Fields. He's taking it all away. It's gonna be an epic moment.
I've watched Jeff Okudah, and hopefully he's gotten a lot better because I think Jalen Johnson is better than him last year. But I mean, who knows?
Well, yeah, that's true. Jalen Johnson had a way better rookie year. He had the best.
What?
Is that Juan? Juan. Hey, Jeff Okudah. I'll buy his jersey for you after it happens. He's gonna pick off Jeff Fields. Justin Fields in his first NFL throw. Mark my words. Don't hate Juan. But yeah, what were we talking about? I forgot.
We're talking about training camp, but I think Justin Fields is going to be better than you think. I did. There was some analysis breakdown by Brett Coleman, I believe, on how his game translates to the NFL. I mean, granted, that doesn't mean anything, but it looks like the Bears actually have somebody that's not like Mitchell Trubisky. He's a lot better. Plus that 4.4 speed, maybe 4.3 speed, it's pretty quick.
Hey, Jalen Johnson. That's what I was mentioning. He had the best rookie cornerback season in NFL. Guess who had the worst grade wise, like graded? Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah was for I think minimum like 100 snaps or something. Like the corners who actually played a few games. It's not many of them because rookie corners usually don't play unless they were a top 10 pick. Or Jalen Johnson, he was just one of those unicorns that broke through his rookie year. So I'm not really worried about Jeff Okudah his rookie year, but I am worried about him his sophomore year, and I fully expect him to become lockdown this season. He has to. He has to.
I saw him at one game. I was watching the Lions. I can't remember who they were playing. He had an interception. Maybe it was Cardinals. Yeah,
it was Arizona. Yep.
He had an interception. Yeah. Year. Yep. And he played pretty good. Like I remember watching him lock down Hopkins or for a couple. I don't know. I think it had to be Hopkins, but yeah, he had an interception. So he did play good. So he does have that potential.
Jeff Okudah has a clean slate this year. Why? Because Matt Patricia was his head coach last year. I'm not holding nothing against him. They threw him to the Wolves, one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. I'm Jeff Okudah. You got a clean slate, my man, clean slate. But he's an Ohio State cornerback, and those guys usually come on their second or third years. And you know who doesn't come on from Ohio State? Quarterbacks. There hasn't been one Ohio State quarterback in the history of that school, Joe Burrow doesn't count, that has done anything of note in the NFL.
But you're failing to realize that the coach for the Ohio State runs a pro-style offense, and it's similar to the Bears' offense. So I think Justin Fields will do good. I'm not going to say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be better than what the Bears have had in a long time.
What are some like players on the team that you're looking forward to this year in training camp to watch specifically or keep track of for the Bears? I'm just curious as a Lions fan.
Definitely Justin Fields. I want to see if Daz Newsome, he had a broken collarbone. I know they're gonna bring him along slowly, but I'm definitely interested to see if he's gonna beat out. I mean, he's gonna make the team, but it's just definitely interesting because I think he's gonna be a decent wide receiver in the NFL, kind of like Darnell Mooney came on the season. The wide receiver battle, because you have a lot of wide receivers. You have Anthony Miller, obviously he was on the trade block. You have Javon Wims. You have Calvin Ridley, Riley Ridley's brother, who hasn't seen the field. I don't even know if he'll make it, but it's going to be interesting because they have like 9 receivers and they're probably only going to keep 6 or 7. So who are they going to get rid of? I think you got to keep Anthony Miller. The dude was wide open a lot and just wasn't throwing the ball or overthrowing the ball. So you definitely got to keep Anthony Miller.
He dropped a lot of balls too.
So I'm going to be looking at that, the wide receiver. I know we got Damian Williams to back up. We got Tariq Cohen, we got Damian Williams, and we got David Montgomery. Everyone's excited about that, but I feel like Matt Nagy doesn't use his running backs very well. Like he'll play one running back like dominant. So it's interesting to see like how he's going to use Damian Williams. I feel like Damian Williams isn't going to see the field very much. It's going to be Cohen or Montgomery, but I feel like Damian Williams is going to end up getting released mid-season because I just feel like he doesn't use the running back by committee very well. So we'll see how it goes.
Word. Well, I mean, the Bears wide receiver situation kind of sounds a little similar to the Lions, except y'all got Allen Robinson, who's proven to be an elite option. Everybody else, and then y'all just got like 8 7 or 8 other guys that are going to be battling out, and that's good for competition because the best player is going to win out, and it only help your team more.
Yeah, we picked up Demir Bird, and then who's the other? We got another speedy receiver. I can't remember his name. Demir Bird. Oh, it's Marquise Goodwin, maybe?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
He's getting old, but he can still run.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of speed. So it's interesting because I think Demir Bird will make the team. Obviously, Robinson, Mooney, Demir Bird, Daz Newsome, Anthony Miller. I don't know. Javon Wims is a glorified wide receiver. He blocks. He's a good blocker, glorified wide receiver that blocks. So they know that when Javon Wims is on the field, he's going to block 95% of the time. So maybe we should just teach our wide receivers like Allen Robinson to block and cut Javon Wims. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Anything else before we close out our podcast for tonight?
I don't think so. What do you got anything else you want to talk about to end the show, buddy?
No, nothing, man. I'm just definitely looking forward to the season. I'm already ready for fantasy football. I mean, that's like, I mean, obviously watching your teams, but it's also nice to play fantasy football, which Juan is missing out on.
I got my first draft like a week from now, actually, I believe. So I can't wait. Fantasy, and all that is awesome. Hi, babe.
Yeah, Julius definitely does a lot. I can tell he's busy. He doesn't respond to many of our texts or group chats because he's busy fumbling 2 boys. Aren't you in college now too? Are you going back to school and everything?
Well, yeah, I actually just finished with school, and I'm with IT school. I was in IT school getting all my certs, and yeah, man, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. But I love this show, and that's why I do it every week. And and shout out to all our listeners, everybody commenting. There was a lot of comments this show. Me and Wyatt don't usually do this together. We're not usually the main 2 guys. That's why, a little awkward silence here and there, blah, blah. But man, me and Wyatt, we've been doing it for a year and a half together. So, I mean, it was a great show. Great comments. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to the wife.
Yeah. Julius is definitely a super dad, super podcaster, all the above.
Wyatt is too.
No. I only got 1 kid, man. And
your
one
kid
kid's
be in your lap during some shows.
Well, yeah, because I give my my wife a break because she I feel bad sometimes, but
shout out Wyatt's wife.
Yeah, Elena. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good show having you and Juan. I mean, it's weird. I was telling my wife, like, we're all friends, but we haven't like been face to face and hung out. God help us when that happens, because we'll probably be too drunk and do something stupid, like go streaking down a busy street or something.
Yeah, that day will come soon, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the end of our show of On Point Discussion. My name is Wyatt Cornelius. You can follow me at the Cornelius7. You can follow Julius at the Fifth Top, and you can follow Juan at Lounge Room Prez 1. I'm used to his old Twitter handle.
Oh, that would be Bucks Fan 94.
Packer Fanatico.
Oh yeah, Bucks Fanatico 94. That's.
But remember, we're powered by One Call Tech and Fanatics, ladies and gentlemen. This is On Point Discussion. Have a good evening, and always go Bears.
Go Lions.